Well, we're back here at the Hall of History, and today we're going to look at the road to declaring independence. What events led to the Declaration of Independence? If you recall from our previous talk, we talked about taxation without representation. Quite often you still hear about that with the Tea Party right now. Problem in Massachusetts, especially in the Boston area, and then the Intolerable Acts. What did the First Continental Congress do? And we're looking at the year 1774. 9 colonies sent delegates to Britain, and they asked, why are soldiers pouring into Boston, and who are they protecting the colonists from? The colonists were British subjects, and it seemed kind of strange that you'd put troops into the colonies to protect British subjects from who? Because they weren't fighting anybody. The French and Indian War was over. Many of the delegates felt they were being oppressed and that a full-scale British invasion was underway. And we'll look at the We Are War video clip in class. The shot heard around the world. What was it? In 1775, the British troops were to march to Concord to seize a stockpile of weapons. And on their way there, they met 70 Minutemen, and the first blood of the war was shed here. And why was this important? The British arrived at Concord to find the weapons missing. Well, if they're missing, somebody had to take them. And on the way back, the Redcoats fell by the dozens as Minutemen used Napoleonic versus guerrilla warfare. And we're going to look at another video clip here. But Napoleonic battle tactics were pretty much you line your troops up in neat rows and columns, and then you would just sit and fire across the field at each other. In guerrilla warfare, as we saw in the French and Indian War, and we'll see throughout history, it's kind of hit and run tactics here. And we'll look at more of that as we go through the class this year. Why was the Battle of Bunker Hill important? Well, the colonists were eventually defeated and forced to retreat, which wasn't too surprising, seeing the British Army was probably the most well-trained army at the time. But the colonists realized that they could fight and do well against the British. And we'll look at another video clip that really talks about how Napoleonic battles were being fought.